But I do know that our entire lives, man, too much so, are wrapped up in Google. It's like everywhere you turn, Google is a part of our lives. And because of that, Google knows so much about you, like almost everything about you. Yes, they're listening. They are. And from Bridgehead IT, let me get Wes Bunch in here for our Tech Tuesday moment to talk a little bit about just what does Google know about us, Wes?
Yeah, I get that question a lot, and it's typically like, is it really as invasive as it sounds? And is true my phone and Google is like tracking my every move? And, while that might not be your every move, Google does desire to get close and personal with you, which is why it's a good idea to take a look and really understand what all it does know and to understand that you do have control over more than you might think. First off, Google knows everywhere you've been. When you think about Google Maps, it knows all the countries, all the cities, and all the attractions, things like restaurants that you've been to. And by default, that's called location history, by the way. That's turned on. And it's kind of cool because it lets you go back and see where you've traveled. For instance, you might forget, this cool restaurant you went to 2 months ago, and you can actually go back to Google and look at your travel history and say, oh, yeah, that was that restaurant we went to, and you can rebook and go back. But the good news is that you can turn that feature off. You can actually pause your location history. You can even turn it off altogether, and your phone will stop collecting this information. The process is a little different for Apple versus Android. But you can do a quick search on a search engine, and it will teach you how to do that. It's amazing how much information Google gets just by tracking your every move and where you're going. The next one, Google Photos. So a lot of people don't realize this, but when you take a photo, Google logs where you took it, the time you took it, and it can even recognize people and places in the photo. This is called metadata, and Google uses these data to make money, by sending you relevant advertisements that, about things that it may think that you like or places you may want to go, even people that you may want to be like or clothes that you may want to wear. It extracts that from the photos.
God.
It's crazy. That's called location tracking for photos, and you can actually, fortunately, go in and turn that off as well. Again, it's different kind of for every phone, so it's something that you'll want to Google and look at. But I definitely recommend turning that off. It's just, in my opinion, it's a lot of information that I don't think that they need to have. Another one is ad interest. I think everybody knows about this, but if you ever search for something like a hotel room price or an airline price or food, for the next few weeks, you get all these ads, not only on your phone and computer, but also on your TV. I was searching for a tractor part the other day online, and all of a sudden on TV, all these Tractor Supply ads start coming across the television. And, the Google algorithms are surprisingly adept at determining what you like, and it's a huge money maker for Google. So that's another one you can turn off as well. It's going to be in the privacy and personalization section of your Google account. You can completely shut that off and still have a great web browsing experience. So, as you can see, some of this tracking can actually be a little helpful to you, but mostly it's helpful to Google, and it makes them a ton of money. So I recommend that you just understand these settings and know that you can turn them off. And it'll tell you, it's not going to be a great experience. No, it'll be a great experience. You'll be able to still find everything you want to find.
Well, here's something that I do too, because I've been in this business for 60 years when you count me just growing up in it, but on my own, close to 50. This microphone that I'm speaking into now is always on. The only thing this red button does when I hit this red button is it makes you able to hear this microphone by opening the channel, but the microphone itself is always on. Same is true with your phone, and same is true with your camera, same is true with your camera that's in your monitor and everything else. I have a little piece of tape on the camera on my monitor at home, and the microphone, I'm very careful. And how do I know that? Because I'll have conversations with my wife, and the phone is sitting over on the counter, and we'll be talking about some item that we're considering to buy for the house. And Wes, I'll pick up and go on to IG, or I'll go on to Facebook or whatever, and I'll see ads for that item. Now, I haven't searched that item in the phone. It's just us speaking that. Alexa has been doing the same thing in our home. Now, that's an Amazon product, but she's been doing the same thing. And every once in a while, she'll say, would you like to see those umbrellas for your backyard? After she and I were just merely having a conversation about umbrellas. We didn't say her name. So I've been doing a little family experiment at home using certain phrases and buzzwords that I think that she lights to, and you can tell that she's on by the red circular or the blue circular light on top. And sure enough, there are certain things that I can say in my home that wakes her up, and it's not her name. So yes, we are being observed, and I know this is like paranoia tinfoil hat, but it's not. We're being observed beyond just our participating in it. We're not participating in being observed. We haven't necessarily given our permission to be observed, but we are.
Well, and it's not just in your home. It might be in your car. You know, these devices talk to each other. So you can have that same conversation in your car with your phone. And when you get home, you might see an ad on your TV.
I saw that. I saw that the other day. I saw a big story about that just the other day. All right, man, this is great info, and a lot of people are going to want to hear this on the podcast and get in touch with you guys over at Bridgehead at 210-477-7999 and online at bridgeheadit.com. Thanks, Wes. We'll talk soon, man.
Have a great day, Trey. Take care.
You too. All right.